Hey there, my friends and viewers. What's happening? It's Hengest, I'm with TGN, and today I would like to show you the various ground vehicle races here in Grand Theft Auto Online. In this video, we'll start with the bicycle race, not to be confused with the motorcycle race. It can be a bit confusing because the game refers to motorcycles as bikes at one point, and only the cycles as bicycles. So, if that makes sense, whatever. Here's what the preliminary menu setting selection system looks like. You basically select your vehicle and it'll show you the various stats, and you can change the color most of the time. You can also observe your skills and your opponent's skills. What I mean by that is the RPG-like skills, such as driving, for example. Out of all of them, I do believe that driving, in my opinion, is the most influential, because a deficiency of driving skills can really cause problems for you in events like this, and the opposite can be said for people with exceptional driving skills. So my character is a terrible driver. My opponent in this race, I believe his name is Gabriman. We did a series of races, just the two of us. Just the two of us. He's like a moderate level driver. Okay, so my guy's a bit of a goody two-shoe. All he really does is commute to work, and so his driving skills suck. But anyways, we're going to be showing you the bicycle race, like I said, and this map here consists primarily of ramps that you jump off of and traverse terrain. So you see those little bumps like that. Those things are meant to be detrimental, whereas the ramps are meant to be helpful. You skip over terrain like sand, which should slow you down, although it doesn't slow you down as much as it should, because as you can see right there, Mr. Gabriman, he just pedaled straight through that sand, whereas I took the shortcut to the asphalt in hopes of getting a faster time, and he was able to traverse the sand a lot faster than I was on the asphalt. Anyways, so you can affect each other, obviously, by bumping in. You can't, like, shoot each other unless you turn that on in the racing mode. And you can't, like, punch each other off the bikes, but you can definitely ram into them and try to make them crash into various obstacles. And you see him doing it a little bit. I do it a little bit as well. Here I get kind of pissed off, and I force him right into that dumpster. As you can see, there is a little bit of latency compensation. What I mean by that is, like, I'll run into him and his character won't move. It'll be like on a bit of a delay, maybe about a second. But it does actually show you your opponent's positioning semi-real time. This is, again, or actually I didn't say this before, this is the second day of GTA Online's launch, so there's still quite a bit of server instability. But back there, he definitely got dismounted by getting smashed into that dumpster, which caused him to have to respawn. It's kind of like a respawn. It basically just loads you back where you fell off, and you have to start from scratch. So he got way behind there, and I was able to take the lead pretty easily. I wanted to show you the bicycle race because that's kind of the entry-level race, or the most basic among them, and it's also my favorite race. I really love the triathlons in Grand Theft Auto, and here you can see that I did get some cash from that, as well as some reputation points and various other statistics. And we're going to jump straight into the motorcycle race. Here you can see me observing the different vehicles, and they are mixing dirt bikes with road bikes here. Now, this is my first time playing all these courses in this video, so I don't know what the heck to expect here. I picked the fastest road bike, fastest acceleration, because the way I play is very safe. And there's a lot of braking involved, or at least non-accelerating turns. And acceleration for me it works with my playstyle the best. So anyways, I picked the road bike with highest acceleration, gave it a yellow paint job, and I actually didn't realize that this map has quite a bit of dirt roads here. So as you can see, my driving is actually, the rank is Sunday Driver. And now I'm stuck on a motorcycle race that has a lot of dirt roads. I would say more than half of these roads are dirt roads in a street bike. My opponent, Gabriman, he knew better and he picked the dirt bike. So we're going to see how this plays out. Now, obviously on asphalt and just in general, my bike is going to be a lot faster than his road bike. There's a lot greater displacement, a lot more horsepower. But he's going to have far greater braking, handling, and traction control on these dirt roads. So obviously I'm going to pass him there on the dirt. I really like how your vehicle selection has different strengths. And there I'm plugging away at him a little bit, trying to have some fun, trying to see how much I can manipulate him by bumping into him. And I've definitely noticed that, there you saw, I just really smashed into him. I've definitely noticed that the bicycles are affected by bumping into each other a lot more than the motorcycles are. I don't know if that is added because it's very easy to crash on a motorcycle or what have you. They want to eliminate some of that, aggressive driving advantage that you might get. But I've pretty much decided at this point in the race that it's not working. I can't make him crash by smashing into him very easily, so I went ahead and stopped that. And now I'm just going to focus straight away on my race. I don't know how I feel about knocking players around in the race. It's definitely something you can do in casual racing games, and to a lesser extent you can in racing simulations, but obviously this is a virgin run through on this track. Both of us crashed into that freaking shed right there, going way too fast. Didn't brake in time, didn't even see it in time before getting clotheslined by a building, but thankfully he crashed there too, so I'm gonna have time to get back and race actually in front. Now we are racing on the dirt roads, so my speed on the dirt road seems to be pretty even with his dirt bike. However, he does have far greater handling and traction on the dirt road. So I really need to rely on the asphalt here for my advantage. Now, thankfully, he crashed into the fence back there, and that secured my win. I probably would have ended up winning that race on the street bike, regardless of whether or not he crashed into that fence, but that pretty much just secured my victory. And as you can see, you get quite a bit of money from winning these races here. Getting money in Grand Theft Auto Online is not necessarily difficult, but it is very, very valuable to have some disposable cash. And here we're going to be doing the Taking Off map here. And I actually got to host this game. I picked the supercars. These are the echelon above sports cars. They're the fastest cars in the game. And I decided to go with a $500 bet here, seeing as I'm on a bit of a winning streak. And I went ahead and picked the Bullet. This is like a street racing car. Its equivalent in the real world would be like a Ford GT, which is amazing acceleration and top speed, but it doesn't handle so well on the track. It is an American car after all. Front engine, rear wheel drive, just straight American muscle, which I thought would be great for this map because it's on a freaking runway. I figured it's going to be mostly straight lines, flat terrain. This would be the car to choose. And this was, again, a virgin run-through on this map. And my opponent, he picked more of like a German-looking car. I don't really know what that would equate to in the real world, but it definitely has superior handling than mine. I'm trying to remember the name of that car in-game so you can check out its stats. But its handling is far greater. Its acceleration is greater as well due to its weight, and it's more aerodynamic. But the top speed definitely doesn't equate to my car. So we'll see how that plays out. That's funny. We both missed that checkpoint there, so we had to actually turn around, and I tried to bump into him a little bit to slow him down because he is ahead of me right now. Now, this is where a very important part of Grand Theft Auto Online Racing comes into factor, and that is the catch-up mechanic. You can turn this off, but it's enabled by default. And basically what it does is like Mario Kart. If you're behind in a race, it's going to give your car better stats so that it's easier for you to catch up. Okay, so if you fall behind, you're not inevitably going to be behind if your partner races flawlessly and you can't catch him. If that's enabled, then it will allow you to catch up to him if you don't fuck up. Now there's also the drafting mechanic, which allows you to gain a speed boost if you're trailing somebody, like right behind them, because traveling at these speeds in these supercars, there's a lot of wind resistance, which ultimately slows you down. And if you have somebody in front of you taking the brunt of that wind resistance, you're going to be able to travel faster when you're behind them. So you can use that to your advantage strategically. In NASCAR and to a lesser extent Formula 1 racing, they do utilize that mechanic as well in the real world because it actually is a form of physics that applies in high-speed races. But my partner back there, I think he missed another checkpoint, so he had to turn around. And this is a situation where if the catch-up mechanic was not enabled, there would be no chance of him catching me in this race unless I screwed up big time. So I don't know how I feel about it. It's definitely a form of, hardcore or casual racing. In this case, because there's only two of us, I was totally okay with it because it's very boring to race and have nobody in sight. And as you can see, I just looked behind and saw that he caught up really easily. And on this straightaway where I should be passing him due to my car's superior top speed, he was actually able to overtake me there because he did a nice job of utilizing the drafting mechanic, which shows like it just shows like wind animations on the spoiler of the car in front of you, etc., to indicate that they're taking your wind resistance for you. So I'm going to try to do the same thing to him, and I'm trying to drift these corners a little bit, but drifting on this track really isn't that smart. It ultimately just slows you down when you could just lay off the accelerator for a little bit and take a wide turn. And also these marks, these checkpoints are designed for that drive style as well. Drifting into them is not smart. So I did make that mistake. However, the catch-up mechanic is playing in my favor right now. I might have a bit of drafting going on here as well. And this is the last turn almost, so I really try to take this guy out because I got to do something now or never. And unfortunately, he was able to take that turn faster than me. My bumping into him didn't pay off, and I finished second, aka last place. Ricky Booby. If you ain't first, you're last, Chip. But anyways, I'm not too upset about that. I did bet $500 on that race, but as you can see, I got a G back, so I didn't lose money. And also, I gained driving points and, of course, those reputation points. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the ground racing in GTA 5 online and just give you an idea of what it's like, how competitive it might be. Hopefully I can get some more people in a race. It did just release though, so it's harder to find people. And I want to thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Keep it real out there, friends and viewers. Bye-bye. Also, before I go, please add me on the PlayStation Network so I can invite you guys to these matches. My username is in the description below. Add me. I swear I will add you to my friends list until it's capped out. All right, that's it for me. See you guys.